Alright, this video is about how to do regression on your TI84Plus. Now, as you will see, here we have already put in some data. If you don't have that in, you can put that in real quick. And we have graphed our scatter plot. If you don't know how to make that scatter plot, go back and watch the video on how to do a scatter plot. So once we have our scatter plot, we are then going to hit the Stat button, and you should get this screen. Okay. Now you'll see that there are three menus across the top: Edit, Calc, and Test. We are going to arrow over using this arrow to Calc. Okay, we used Edit to make our scatter plot. We're going to do Calc to find our line of best fit. You should get this screen when you arrow over to Calc. Now, what we have to do is, looking at our scatter plot, we have to decide, do we want a line of best fit? Do we want a parabola of best fit? Do we want a cubic curve of best fit? And so on. So, let's just look here real quick. A cubic curve is going to look like that. That didn't work. Okay. A parabola is going to look like this. Possibly, but you got this outlier over here, and the two sides really aren't that symmetric. So we're going to think, well, maybe, but probably not. The line, can we draw a line through here that fits better than that parabola did? Yes, we still have an outlier, but it's not nearly as far away from our line that we drew as this one was from our parabola. So we're going to go with number 4, line of best fit, or line regression. So let's see, we're going to focus on number 4. So you can just use your arrow button right here to arrow down to number 4, or you can just push 4 on the number pad. You are going to hit enter to bring up this screen. Now, this screen has 5 different things on it. X list is literally the calculator asking you where are the X values for this particular set of data. And though you can't see the L, it is flashing L1. Then the second line asks, where are your Y values? And it says that we have them listed in L2. Now here's the good thing. If that's not where you have your data, you can change that to L3, L4, whatever you need to. Okay? So, we've got L1 and L2. Now, the frequency list, we are going to ignore this line for what we are doing now. Okay? So, we are going to be arrowing down, or you can hit enter, either one, to take this from one line to the next. Okay? So, arrow down again and land on store regression equation. Now, this is literally the calculator asking you, where do you want me to store the equation I'm going to come up with? Now, you don't have to do this, but if you don't, you're going to have big, long decimals that you're going to have to write down before you can go to y equals and put the equation in. So we like to do this. So we are going to hit alpha, and then we are going to hit the trace button. And when you hit the trace button, this menu comes up. Now, if you'll notice, this menu has Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5. Well, that's what we see when we go to y equals. So we are picking from this menu which line in y equals we want the calculator to put the equation. Well, let's go ahead and put y1. So just select 1 and hit enter. And this is what that line should look like. You should have a y1 or whatever line you want it to go to right there. So we're going to hit enter or the arrow down button again, and calculate is going to be highlighted. Once that's highlighted, you are going to hit enter, and a screen that looks like this is going to come up. Okay. Okay, so we are used to a linear equation looking like y equals mx plus b. The calculator has just used an a instead of a m, so a is the same thing as slope, okay? All right, so a is going to represent slope in this list, b is going to represent y-intercept, r is what we call a correlation coefficient. It is a number between -1 and 1. 0 means no correlation or no relationship. I'm going to abbreviate that. And 1 means a perfect. My pen is not writing very well. Perfect correlation or perfect relationship. In other words, every point is on the line and it has a positive slope. -1 would mean that every point is on the line, it has a perfect relationship, but it's a negative slope. Okay, so that's what the r means. We're not going to go into the r squared at the moment. All right, so we get that information. Now, if you will hit y equals, what you will see is the calculator did exactly what we told it to. It put the equation with all those decimals into y1. So now, just hit graph, and you not only have your scatter plot, but you have your line of best fit. That is how we do regression on the calculator.